Welcome to USAngling Live. My name is Brian Gaber. I'm on the board of directors for USAngling. USAngling is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We represent the United States of America in international fishing competitions. We're part of SIPS, which is the International Sport Fishing Federation. In this series of videos, I'm interviewing folks that have participated in the past in world competitions. We're going to be introducing folks from probably fishing disciplines that are new to you and some that are very familiar to you. It's freezing cold right now, and we talked ice fishing in the last episode. In episode 2, we're following up with ice fishing too, and we're talking tonight to probably one of the best ice fishermen in the United States, certainly at one time, certainly in 2010, as he was not only part of the USA team gold, but he was also the individual world champion in 2010, and that is USA's own and Lansing, Michigan's own Mike Boedeker. Hey, Mike.
How you doing?
All right, welcome, man. When I played that opener, and I don't know from the green room if you could hear that or not, but when I play that opening video, I get the chills just listening to that thing, seeing the flag waving on the country and all those images from all those teams, and what a cool experience to be part of it. I imagine, and we'll get to it. We're not gonna no breakers yet, but it's got to be something special to be world champion.
It is. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. One of the highlights of my life.
Yeah, that's it. It really, and we'll get to it. I want to back up. I want to reel back away from the world champion, because that's as cool as it gets.
Yeah.
I want to go all the way back to your dad and fishing.
Oh.
I know my dad was influential fishing for me. I know that your dad was influential getting you started in fishing. You and I got something in common. We both bought our dad's house.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. Talk to me about how you got started fishing.
Oh my God. I can't remember not fishing. My dad took us, I had 4 brothers. In the summer, we went camping every weekend. In the winter, we would go up to Houghton Lake and rent a cottage up there, and he would haul us out onto the lake. And ice spuds back then, and Houghton Lake freezes over about 3 foot. Take us about an hour and a half to spud a hole. Start out at about 2 foot on the top, and end up with a little hole on the bottom. But my dad hunting and fishing. That's what he lived for. He was a plumber by trade, so he worked all week, and on the weekends we were off somewhere. And if it wasn't froze over or hunting season, we were fishing.
Yeah,
and, I cannot remember not going. I can't remember not fishing. That's just the way we grew up.
Did he have a specialty, or did he just if it swam, he was going to try to catch it?
Well, back then it was you fished for food. If it was big enough to clean, you kept it and ate it. Yeah. Didn't matter what it was. Yeah.
This has got to be you right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm guessing, is that a lake trout? What are we looking at there?
You know what it looks like? It looks to me like it's a dogfish.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, we never ate any of them.
Yeah.
But this is the kind of country we lived in. It was rural. It wasn't farmland, but it was right on the edges of the cities. But back then, the cities weren't grown up much at all. Everybody had their own gardens out in their backyard. We didn't mow the grass much.
Yeah.
Yeah. That cute looking kid there, ain't he? Yeah,
it is a cute looking kid. He's
fisherman. Yeah.
He's got a high and tight haircut. You could tell,
Yeah.
You could tell he was on the straight and narrow. You said you had, were you one of 4 brothers, you said?
5 brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
I was the middle one. Yeah.
And all fishermen?
Back then, yeah. But as we got older, everybody got out of high school and stuff. My oldest brother, he moved out to Oregon, and we kind of lost contact with him a little bit after he got out of the Army, and he he wasn't passionate about fishing. My next older brother, him and I, we still fish. We live close by each other, so we still fish together all the time.
Okay.
He fishes or golfs every day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Living the dream, right?
And my younger brothers, neither my youngest brother fished a little bit and hunted a little bit, but the one just below me, he didn't hunt or fish much at all. So
yeah,
well-rounded.
So you were born and raised in Lansing?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
kind of. I guess my whole career I've been dedicated. I guess got one job, stayed with them for 38 years, retired. Yeah. Got one ice fishing partner, stayed with him till he unfortunately passed away today.
Yeah, I heard that news today, and I think the entire ice fishing world was a little set back today when they saw the news of Dave's passing. What a giant character of ice fishing. I mean, a partner of yours for years and years and years, you know.
Yep. Him and I worked together.
Oh, did you?
I'm not exactly sure how we met, whether we met because of where we worked. Because I used to go take my breaks in the area that he worked in. It was kind of out of the way, nice, quiet little area.
Yeah.
I could sneak away from my job. And then we just got to we knew other people that we fished together with and everything. And I think that's kind of how we got together. And after I retired, he kept trying to hit me up for to fish with him because he fished with his Mark, is one of his youngest sons there.
Yeah.
And in the old fish trap series there before it got to the NAFC.
Okay.
And, then when I retired and says, yeah, I'll give that a try. Yeah. As well. Yeah.
Was he retired at that time? Was he retired?
Let's see. We retired right about the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. But they were closing our plant down, so it was kind of
okay.
Might as well get out. It was about the same time we retired. He might have went a year earlier than me or something like that. But,
yeah, and we'll get into a few funny Dave stories here as we move forward, because he's inextricably linked to you through NAIFC and your working together and your partnership over time, and some just I have countless stories that I can fondly look back on from you guys' adventures for sure.
Oh yeah.
Here, look at this picture of this young man here.
Oh, macro, geez.
You have your MO is you're a good
go to church. Yes.
Yeah, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
You're one of the nicest guys out there. You've got patience like I've never seen.
Yeah.
And linked to some of those stories I'm thinking about.
Oh,
but
man,
yeah, this is an early picture of Mike Boedeker getting learnt.
I must have been getting confirmed there. That was probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that led you at some point because of your straight-laced and kind personality that Jan found something interesting in you. And tell me a little bit about your wife, Jan. I know she's you guys have been married for a while now.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We just had our anniversary here a week or so ago. So
okay.
I think she's 46 years, I believe.
46 years. So I'm thinking,
years.
I don't know when 2008 was on my calendar here, but it was a few years back. And I think in that time frame, you were saying that you'd never had a serious argument with your wife. Now, is that continued on all these years later?
Yeah, the only time I can remember her getting perturbed was we were fishing on I think it was Lake Charlevoix, and might have been Torch. It was, anyways. We were bass fishing. The fish were on their bed. It was Burt and Mullet. It was on Burt Lake. That's where it was, on Burt Lake. And I probably already had my limit, so we're going around, and it was bedding season, so we're spotting beds, and I see a bed up on shore there, and I specifically, okay, go ahead, cast up there, she chucks a jig up there, that bass comes over there, grabs it nice, she sets the hook, breaks her line, and I'm about as impatient as you can be when there's a fish on a bed though. So while she's tying, she's tying a new jig on and everything. And
You
she's
threw in
kind of
there?
nervous. So she's taking her time. So I said, oh my
Yeah.
God. I'm like, so I cast in there, hook the fish, man, I bring it in. It's like a 4.5 pounder or something like
Yeah.
that. Oh, things cooled down real quick after that. yeah. The next one I just let her catch it and I don't say nothing. But, yeah, it was a day or two there. She was a little steamy.
Too funny. And she was when you were serious fishing in the NAIC, for instance, she was a partner with, I'm trying to rack my brain. Was she a partner with your
My
brother at the time?
Yeah. She fished with my brother all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was always quite the thing.
Yeah.
God forbid that if they beat Dave and I.
Yeah.
Oh my God. if we beat them, we could win even. And on the rides home, everybody just talking normal, or nobody's on their phones. But if they beat us all the way home, everybody that was on her phone got a phone call and go, oh yeah, guess who I beat today? Yeah. Listen to that all the way home.
Oh yeah. And you guys are still fishing. She's still fishing. Yeah. You guys are still.
Yeah, her and I fish. We got a bunch of little Saturday, Sunday tournaments around Michigan here all winter long there, and she's my partner for that. There, yeah,
awesome.
That's pretty good. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I could drill holes for her, but she just doesn't want to drill them. But yeah.
So I'm sure some of that ribbing stemmed, if it was in this time period, stemmed from your time as one of the Icemen. You were for folks viewing currently, you probably know. For folks that are going to watch and you don't know, Mike was co-starring in a ice fishing TV series at the time. I think it was in the 2008-ish time frame, called Icemen, and it featured a number of groups. I think it was 5 teams at the time. 4 teams.
4 teams. Yep.
Yeah. And you were one of them, and your partner was the great late Dave Young. And, and here's a picture of it, and we'll scroll. We'll go to some video feed I have here in a minute of that. But tell me a little bit about your time as an Iceman, one of the Icemen, that experience.
Oh, we must have been in the right place at the right time. I don't know. My whole life's been, I guess, just been a series of one piece of luck after the other. But Mike McNitt decided we're going to start filming this Iceman show, and he's going to put 4 teams together. And Dave and I were doing real well in the NFC, so he wanted to know if we wanted to do that. And I goes, well, yeah, heck yeah, we'll try that, yeah. And let's see, they had Tony and Bob, Myron and Joe, and Zibby and Yasik. And so it was a great little thing. And we were all pretty good fishermen, and we all did real well in the tournaments we went to. And people, it was kind of funny because you go to local spots or out of state, and you get down to some of the lakes, and a lot of the local guys that had seen the show before, they go, what do you guys got fish stashed all over here? And, they accuse you all kinds of things and everything there. But you go, well, no, follow us around and see what we do. There's a camera crew that goes with us all the time, from the time we get up in the morning to the time the weigh-in is over. We got a camera crew in it. Everything we do is right there out in the open. And we have a great time doing it. But it takes a little bit of concentration to have a camera crew standing right there watching you all the time, and you got to keep your nerves about you. And that's one reason I think I did so well in the worlds and stuff too, because it never bothered me. I could talk and fish at the same time. And I was related to like golfers. I can talk while I'm golfing too, but some people can't do that. Yeah, I mean, you lose your concentration. But that Iceman show, that was a real fun experience. We had a lot of fun doing that show.
I got to roll a little clip here, and I know it might be muted for you, Mike, but I'm going to roll this clip for the audience so that they can just see just one of the funny little moments here that happened, and just stand by here and give me a second and see if I can make this work. I don't know, you Frank. I don't know if you could hear that, Mike, but you were talking about eating a half a pie.
Yeah.
and I do know a little bit about your past, that you will eat sweets when you're out there fishing, will you not?
I usually got a cookie or two or something in the back of the quad there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, usually if anybody wanted a snack, they could come over and look at my quad. There'd be something in there. Nutty bars were some of our favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit before we got on tonight about that particular championship. I think that was the 2008 championship, and you guys narrowly missed out on that. I think you were runner up by, what was the weight difference? It was just it was hundredths of
3/100ths.
3/100ths.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate. One of those, I think that might have been the one where the second day, Dave never caught a fish, and we lost.
Really?
We lost by 3/100ths. Oh, he was heartbroken over that. Yeah.
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 You had some, yeah, I think, you know, being around the periphery of it, we were talking about, you know, things that happened, you know. I think you said you left your auger in another bay. That guy, you guys had it was your spot, right? The Myron 1 pound winning spot was really your spot. You went to get your auger. No,
actually, where I left my auger, that was one of my spots. But where we ended up losing it, towards the end, we had about like an hour to go, so we were going to go back out in the deep water. We had a spot out there. We didn't think anybody else even knew about it, so we zipped on out there, and Joe and Myron were sitting right on the GPS mark. So we get off our quad, and my God, we left our auger back where we were. So like a 5-10 minute ride back to there. So we drive back there, get the auger, come back.
Yeah.
And right then, I think it was Myron was landing a fish. That was their biggest fish of the day. That, oh God. And we ended up losing by 3/100ths. So yeah, that was, oh geez. Yeah.
But one thing that they can't take away from you, right, is your world championship.
Oh yeah, yes.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get out of here. I want to move to 2010, and the World Ice Fishing Championship. I just have a short clip here, Mike, I wanted to play and get your reaction to.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about what you were feeling, Mike. What was going through your mind when they were playing the national anthem and you're
Oh,
holding up the world championship trophy?
I tell you, that's I've all last week I've been thinking about that. There was the three biggest highlights of my life. I guess are probably one of them was marrying my first wife, which still married to her.
Yeah. You see me pause there for a second? I'm doing the math on 40 something years.
Yeah. The other one was walking my daughter down the aisle, getting married. That was a real emotional one there. But one of the real true standouts is standing up with American flag behind you, playing the national anthem, and they're playing it for you.
Yeah.
I mean that's priceless, absolutely priceless. Yeah, that's one of the absolute highlights. In all the team tryouts and stuff that we go through with the USA teams now, and the guys I talk to, I tell them, that is something you just don't realize how great that is. It's something that will once you're a world champion, you're always a world champion. Is the way the other world champions have explained it to me. That,
Yeah.
yeah, there's nothing. There's something nobody can take away from you. And yeah, like I said, that's one of at least the top three highlights of my life. That's one of them right there. Yeah.
Can you dial back to those days before we won as a team and before you won individually? Do you have recollections of how the competition transpired for you in your grid on day one and day two?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I'd be interested to know because I'm going to dial it up here on the screen. This was your first place finish in it says sector B round one. So that
was first day. Yep.
Yeah.
We had just came back from Poland the year before, where we finished dead last. So we get all the guys over in the U.S. Now they're in the same boat that we were in Poland. We didn't have a clue what world fishing was about when we got over there. Oh my God Almighty! I was in the same room with Doug Bouchon. And the first day we were out on the ice, I believe it was one of the guys from Estonia came over to us, and he spoke English, so we were talking to him, and he was looking at our tackle. Of course, we had our American tackle, and oh my gosh, they were sticking there. And he gave us one of those little pound rods, and we had never seen one of those before in our lives. That he says, "Oh, you gotta use this, this stuff here," and we said, "Well, show us how to do that." Now, Doug and I both fishing in holes right side by side right here.
Yeah.
We hadn't caught hardly anything. He dropped his line in the water, hit the bottom, bam, he's got a fish, pulls it up, man, drops it right back down, whoop, he's got another one. Drops it right back, whoop, he's got another one. Jeez.
Yeah.
We got back to the hotel that night, and Doug and I said to each other, man, we don't have a clue what's going on. We got to change our tactics right now. But so anyway, fast forward to the U.S. Those guys coming over here with all their little tiny stuff, and our fish, on average, the fish that we were catching over there were 3 to 4 inches, little shiners, basically.
Yeah.
Stuff we would use for bait.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So they come over here, and we don't need it. We used our tackle over here. Now we got them on our lake too, and we saw the tactics that the Europeans use to make sure you don't catch as many fish as they do. So we kind of got together and figured out a game plan. It's okay. We had maps of our sectors, which we found out that they do that over there. They go to some extremes over there to limit what you can catch. So anyway, in the first day in the sector I was in, there was a couple of guys that spoke English. So we all get weighed in, and we line up. And I knew where I wanted to go. I had to go walk down the sector line and then down the other, make a right and go down there about halfway. Well, there was one of the guys I was talking to. He was up in the corner there. So we had a plan we could pace off where we wanted to go into our sector, and supposedly there was some structure there possibly that might hold some fish. And so everybody else, apparently we heard later that a couple of the guys were like goose stepping, 1, 2, counting the steps to where they wanted to go, and the Europeans figured that right out real quick, and so they were on to those guys. But I just casually walked through there and kept a medal. So this is where I want to fish. So I walk up to the corner and talk to the guy up there and go, "Oh man, geez, I would really like to fish this corner, but if you're going to fish here, I'll just go back the other way there, and I'll fish over there." And, that worked. Nobody was around me the first day. They completely disregarded me. I think the first day they had no clue or anything.
Yeah.
But, it ended up after that first day. I think Myron won his sector. I won my sector. Yep. I think Billy Whiteside, won his sector. There was at least.
I think they were second and thirds. I think if I remember correctly, I think Billy and Doug Bouchon were 2-3 either way, one or the other of them. But I think it was 1-1, 2-3, 7. I think was day one. So I mean, we had a phenomenal day one.
Yeah.
And Myron said the same thing. He didn't think they saw us coming. They after the year before, they thought, well,
right, nothing
to worry about for these days. So did it change for you then on day two? I see there was some more fish caught in your zone on the second day when you had a third, and the video references that historic 1.495. That in the video you can hear Mike McNeck calling 1.495, and then the crowd erupting because we had live scoring up on the screen, and we could see when they popped up your 1.495, you popped up to first place, and that's kind of when the crowd started to cheer, and we kind of locked it in when your weight was given because you were in Sector E this day, so it was one of the last ones.
Yeah, I was like the anchor. I was like the anchor man on that
on the relay.
Everything was kind of up in the air there. It looked like we had a pretty good lock on the team medal before they weighed in my sector, which was the last one. But when they brought that up, it was kind of confusing to me right off the get-go, because some of the other teams had their alternates fishing the second day, so they came up, and a couple of those alternates did pretty good. In fact, I think there was 2 of them that must have been second or third in their sectors the second day. So it actually the computer actually showed them as in first place and second place. Okay. And I thought I won a bronze medal. And a couple of the European guys come over and started go, "Oh, champion." I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then it goes, "Well, those 2 guys only fished the first day." I was, "Oh, really? Oh my God!" That was It didn't. It almost. I didn't believe it until they handed me the medal, actually, to where I thought, "Is this really happening?" Honest God, is this really happening? A world championship? Yeah, geez.
And I've got the top 20 up on the screen now, and you were in first place, and you're ranked there for folks who are new to the ice fishing scoring system, but it's like golf. We've got a competitor from each country in 5 grids, 1 each in each grid or sector, and then if you finish in first place, you get 1 point, and if you finish like Mike did at third place the second day, you add that 3 plus the 1, and you get your 4. And you were first place. I was surprised looking back, Mike. I thought I was surprised to see how close Folke was. And tell me a little bit about these competitors that you were fishing against. We had an advantage, an enormous advantage tactically, I think. And you guys had fished a couple of professional series tournaments there. You had an idea how the fish set up. You had an idea how they set up with with cover and structure and how to get them. You know, Boedeker didn't, right?
No,
Holy
no,
moly,
no.
huh?
Actually, Folke was, I'd made really good friends with him over in Poland.
Yeah.
So we were kind of helping him out quite a bit too. But Folke's a good fisherman. He's
Yeah.
the Swedish guys. I know we talked to other guys on his team. He'd been on their team for a long time, and he always made their team, and they could never figure out how he was doing it because they all thought that they were better than him, and he always came through in the worlds and was first on their team every time. But,
Just
yeah, he was
impressive. It was impressive to me to see them come to, you know, foreign waters and fish and just catch fish. You know, they figured it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Another one of your friends on here I thought I saw him. Estonia. Yeah, John.
He's in ninth place there.
Ninth place. Yeah. And tell us about him. He's still a friend of yours today, is he not?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. I just got a Christmas greetings from him here just a little while ago.
Yeah. And what a great guy.
I made for Estonia. Yeah.
They're just a great group of people there, huh?
He spoke real good English. He was some kind of a history professor or something over there.
Yeah.
And he was the oldest guy on their team. I was the oldest guy on our team. And so we kind of hit it off, and he spoke good English too. And Estonia really tried to help us out as much as they could. And so we tried to help them out as much as we could too. But I went to a couple meetings with their whole team and showed them the difference between their fish and our fish and where to catch the crappies as compared to in Europe. They're bottom fishermen over there. That's what they do. They feed the bottom with all their chums and stuff like that. But over here, I explained to them, you know, get your bait up off the bottom if you want to catch these crappies. These crappies there's no sense of fishing for the 2-3 inch perch if you can catch a 10, 12, 13 inch crappie. That's worth about 25, 30 of them little perch. Yeah. Not waste time here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a whole difference in the worlds and between the U.S. and the worlds there. Those people are the World Championships. You know what I relate it to? If you look at the Olympics in the rifle shooting and the bow and arrow shooting, their bow and arrows and rifles aren't nothing like our bow and arrows and rifles that we use for hunting and target practice and around here. Yeah. Fishing is the same way. When we went to Poland, we learned right off the get-go, World Championship fishing is not fishing like we do in the United States. We're after it's speed fishing. It's the same way in the Olympics with their rifle shooting and their bow and arrow. You're shooting fast, and their equipment, you know, barely looks like stuff they would use for hunting anyways. But the same way with ice fishing, their equipment was completely foreign to us, and it's quite a little learning curve. And Doug Bouchon and I caught on to that after like one day over there in Poland. And it just took us a while to find all this stuff.
How do you think? How's your outlook for the team now? You know a number of the guys on the team. It seems to me we're making a very positive transition towards some success in that style now with some of the competitors we've got coming into the scene now that are on the U.S. team. Talk a little bit about the guys. I mean, I know you've been involved in helping those guys, perfect that and recruiting folks and helping them understand what we need to do.
Yep. They the guys, we got one heck of a good nucleus on that team right now there I got a different philosophy on World Championship fishing. The three biggest things I think that you need to do to fish the world championships is, first off, everybody's a good fisherman. Everybody that's on a world team is a good fisherman. Man, woman, it don't make any difference. Age doesn't make any difference at all. They're all good fishermen. What separates them is for the world stuff, you need really good eyesight. You have to have steady, I mean dead steady nerves. You can't be jiggling around. The tackle that you're using is so sensitive. If you're nervous, if you're breathing hard, you have to keep all of that under control. You have to be dead rock steady. You have to have super eyesight to see all these little indicators and stuff there, that the slightest little movements that the European fish make, it's nothing the way our fish bite.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, you have to have fantastic hand-eye coordination. You can't be fumbling around. You have everything's got to be smooth, and then pick up the speed, and do. But you got to be smooth, and you have to have real good hand-eye coordination. Otherwise, you're just gonna have tangled up messes all the time. And like I say, time is money in the world there.
Yeah. And that's really what makes it, a super competitive sport too. I mean, it's fun to watch. I mean, you got to go and do some observing and the strategy and in fact, were you coaching one year?
When I went to where's it? Bulgaria. Oh no,
Bulgaria?
Not in Bulgaria. It's Belarus. One of those. It might have been Belarus. Anyways, I got to watch. I fished the first day, but then I watched the second day. That was my worst day that I ever did. I think I was the fifth on the team that day. The first time I ever done that.
Yeah.
The last time, but anyways, on the second day, the alternate fish. So, man, I got to watch Lexi from Ukraine, and so I was spotting in the same sector he was in. Here's what he did. He started out when they blew the gun off. He drilled 15 holes. He drilled them. Now the ice was about, I think the ice was about 18 inches thick right then too.
Mm-hmm.
He drilled 15 holes. He went all the way across the sector, which was about 50 yards. And then he made a left-hand turn and he went down there about 20 yards. Anyways, 15 holes. He ran back he drilled the holes and he baited them, all 15 of them. He ran back and started fishing the first hole. And he did that in 14 minutes. In 14 minutes.
That's crazy. And these are hand augers for you people listening that have never seen this. This isn't a power auger. This is a hand auger.
Yeah.
Yep. They're sharp.
Yeah. And he not only drilled them, he baited them. And he was making leaps and bounds there. He drilled holes about every 20 feet or 20, 30 feet apart, something like that.
And then when he would do that get them all drilled, get them all baited, and he's back, and then he sets down to fish, then he was steely calm, right?
Absolutely. Oh, yep. Absolutely. And I watched him later too. Guys were starting to steal his holes. And there's some pretty good fishermen were stealing his holes too. Those other guys would come into his holes and they would fish and fish and fish, and they'd catch one. Okay. And then they'd fish and fish and fish and fish, and they'd catch them. About 5 minutes, they'd catch maybe 2, 3 fish. Off they go. Lexi would come right back, right after them, drop down in the same hole instantly. He's got one on. He's got another one. He's got another one. And the only difference was he was so steady and his eyesight was so good that he could watch those little indicators make the ever so slightest little twitch, and he would catch them, and he was smooth at it too. No herky jerky or nothing. It was like he knew the indicator was starting to go down, and he was pulling it back in, and he had them. He did that hole after hole after hole, and I go, my God. So now I really got to, what is the difference that he's doing that somebody else is doing? And the only thing I can figure is he is rock steady. He never held his he held his rod with one hand only. A lot of the other guys they hold their rods with two hands. They hold their other hand to keep themselves steady.
Yeah, kind of like that.
But he could do it with one hand, and he was just so smooth. It's not that he was that much better of a fisherman. They all know how to fish, but and it was the same chum because he was chumming the holes. The other guys were chumming the holes too, but he could catch them out of the same hole that another guy just left. And the only difference was he could see the bites better. And I could see it because he was so steady and he had such good eyesight.
Yeah. Here's something, talking about some of the best anglers, right? If you make a world team, you're one of the best anglers for your country and you're one of the best in the world. I saw this after the 2000 when you won the gold medal and you were team champion, you were an individual champion. And then Outdoor Life comes out with the top 20 anglers on the planet, and Mike Boedeker is voted number 8.
Yeah.
And to put that in perspective, the first fella up there, he had 326 world records. Number 2 is Kevin Van Dam. Anybody who bass fishes knows that. Pete Mena, the biggest muskie guy in America. Mike Iaconelli, another bass guest star. Tommy Scarless, a walleye pro, and then Mike Boedeker, and then surprisingly, you beat out Rick Clunn, Roland Martin, and Gary Parsons. Dude, what a cool honor that was, eh?
Yeah. Well, on the same note there, I should have been up there tied with Kevin Van Dam because when I first started bass fishing, we fished against Kevin Van Dam here in Michigan. His whole family was in the Michigan Bass Federation. And my partner and I, we used to fish against him all the time. And we used to beat him half the time. He beat us half the time. We beat him half the time. Yeah, it was neck and neck all the time. Yeah.
Were they like open events or team events or federation, Bass Federation type events? Or what were they like?
It was like the Michigan Bass Federation. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a conglomeration of, there was 50, 60 clubs that, and they had 5 or 6 tournaments every year. 2-day tournaments. One day would be a team tournament, next day would be a draw tournament.
We were talking a little bit before we got on here tonight about I think you would have been a fun choice for early bass angling had we had that on there sooner as a sport, right?
Well, that's what I tell everybody. The only difference between me and Kevin Van Dam is, first off, I got a world championship. He doesn't. But he's got like $7 million and I don't. But he had the advantage that his he didn't need a job at the time, so he was in the right place at the right time where he could go and try out for that. And he's a super bass fisherman. I mean, that's what he does. And it just exploded for him. That was.
Do you think that he goes out and pitches into his wife's bedded bass though?
Probably. Well, I'll bet he front ends her a lot there. He probably doesn't. He just gets the spoils after he's done. He's tough fishing. His whole family. I mean, they're tough fishing.
Yeah.
He's got a brother, Randy, that probably would have done just as good as him, but Randy had a job and needed to run the business.
Yeah. The other cool honor I saw, Mike, as I did some research, was I think it was the Lansing. Was it the Lansing? Let me get this right now. You were voted to the Sports Hall of Fame in the Lansing area. Is that a school affiliated?
I think I'm in the Michigan Hall of Fame. I've been submitting my name for the Lansing Sports Hall of Fame for years, and it's kind of more of a football, baseball track,
They've got you in there. They're Greater Lansing Area Sports Hall of Fame inductee, and they've got you in there for the World Ice Fishing Championship in 2010, the individual gold medal in 2010. your outdoor life number 8 on the planet, and then the bronze medal from 2013, the team thing, and then the 6-time U.S. Ice Team member, and then the star of TV series Icemen for 3 seasons out there. So
maybe they're going to do that
yeah.
this year. They haven't notified me yet.
If they haven't, I found it on their website, so they've got you on their inductee list for the Sports Hall of Fame in the Lansing area.
Well, it's about to, I've been pressuring. I know a bunch of the guys that are in that. One of the guys right up the road from us was Magic Johnson's basketball coach.
Yeah,
and he's in there because for the team that high school team he had on there, and he's in there for when he was played baseball too, and he's kind of a big wheel around town there. So I pressure him all the time. I said, man, you got to put a good word in there for me.
Yeah.
But they explained to me the first couple of years I applied into that, got application into that they didn't. The first time I put in it, they picked 10 people. I was 11. I would have been the first alternate there, but they didn't figure fishing was a sport. They explained that to me. Fishing wasn't a sport, so they couldn't really justify getting me into there. And so it's like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, now wait a minute here. Yeah, and that's one of the missions, I think, for USAngling as well, is to develop U.S. competition, world competition fishing at a level that it could be considered a sport for the Olympics, right? And you see, there's been some things that are a lot, that you and I might sit back and consider a lot less sporting than some of the things that you had to do in the world competition for ice fishing and a lot of the different fishing disciplines. So that's one of the goals, to move forward, to someday have our international competitions be part of the Olympics.
Oh, wouldn't that be great, man? Oh man, that would really be something if they could get that. Yeah. I hope they do. That's a really be a feather in everybody's cap there. Yeah. People don't realize that fishing, money wise, pulls in is more money spent on fishing than football, baseball, I think, combined in the United States. But for some reason they don't make it an Olympic sport. But over in Europe, though, that's the place to really pressure the Olympic Committee to get it in there, because ice fishing over there is really big. They have lots of magazines specifically for ice fishing. I think I'm more well known in Europe fishing wise than I'm in the United States as far as recognized as a world championship or as a world champion. Every time I go back over there, when we went to Bulgaria, I hadn't been traveling with a team for about 3 years because I had a little medical problems there. And when I got back, the Russians still knew me. The Ukrainians still know me. The Estonians still knew me. I couldn't believe it that people out of the blue that I hadn't seen for years come up and congratulate you. Hey, USA champion! Oh, man, well, that's quite a little deal, I thought.
Yeah, they definitely hold. I mean, they were there. They competed. They were in that competition in those grids on those days. So whether or not you have an advantage is out the window when the horn blows. You're all competing for the same thing. You see how close Folke came. You were competing, and they were competing, and they know it, and they respect you as we do as a world champion. I mean, like you said, you're never going to take that away from you. Your finish anchored some great performances from other members of our team: Billy Whiteside, Doug Bouchon, Myron Gilbert, Tony and Bob, Tony Boschhold, Bob Espenson. Everybody played a part. We finished no worse than 8th and had several seconds, thirds, firsts in that 2010, and took a team gold and your amazing accomplishment of an individual world champion. That's something you'll have forever, man. And I gotta thank you for your time tonight. Appreciate you coming and visiting with us. Your contributions to USA Ice are legendary. the moments that you had with the late Dave Young that we just talked about earlier tonight. Some of those stories will last in ice fishing folklore forever.
We got some good ones.
Yeah.
We can go on and on about the things that happened to us. Oh, geez, yeah, I've had some great times.
Yeah, but appreciate you coming on, Mike, and we wish you well. We'll stay in touch with you. You are a fishing legend to us. As you know, I think you said Europe, they hold you in high regard. Everybody was excited when I said I had you scheduled on this interview because we all hold you in high regard as well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've had great times with all the guys there, and I hope I haven't made any enemies with any of them. I've been cordial with them all. Try to help them out fishing anytime I could. Yeah, had a great time.
Great. So thank you, Mike. We'll be talking to you soon.
Okay.
Thanks, man.
Alrighty.
Well, he is an ice fishing legend. He fished with an ice fishing legend. We talked a little off screen tonight too about Dave Young and his passing. Those guys, go back and watch some of those on YouTube. Those Icemen series, a couple of the greatest there tonight. And Mike winning that world championship couldn't be a better ambassador for U.S. Angling. Representing us in other countries. He's highly regarded overseas. And the nicest guy you've ever met. High integrity, calm under pressure. Just a fantastic representative as a U.S. champion. So we appreciate his time tonight. If you want to help U.S. Angling, like, subscribe, comment, go to USAngling. Please go to our YouTube page and subscribe. One of the ways that we can help get some monetization rolling is if we get our subscribers and our hours up. We're going to be posting these videos, but comment on the videos, like and subscribe. That's how you support. If you don't have money to help support your viewership and your subscriptions and your interaction with these social media, they help a lot, and we appreciate it. And we also appreciate our sponsors, and we've got some great ones for U.S. Angling, and they help bring and make this possible for us. And thank you for tuning in, and we'll get another great interview headed your way soon. Sure.